Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we're continuing with the driveline services on my BMW X7. This video is going to show you how to do the rear differential service. Previously I also posted how to do your transfer case as well as your front diff, so if you need to know how to do those, check those videos out as well, but it only makes sense to do the rear diff at the same time. Now the good news is this one is also pretty easy, not quite as easy as the front diff, but it is pretty straightforward once you know what you're looking at. So let's go ahead and get under the car. I'll show you guys how it's done, and hopefully you guys find this video useful.
Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future.
So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing you want to do is jack up the car on all four corners so that it is completely level with the ground. The reason is because the driveline components vary. Some of them have a drain plug, some of them don't. So if it does have a drain plug, the idea is you drain it and then fill through the fill hole. Or if it doesn't have a drain plug, you suck out the old fluid from the fill hole, then pump in fresh fluid to replace it. There are no level indicators on any of these driveline components. So if you don't have the car completely level, then you potentially will overfill it or underfill it. Basically that hole won't be at the right point, so you won't be able to get the fluid filled correctly. So that's why it's critical to make sure the car is level. If you don't have a lift, like I don't have one, then just make sure your jack stands are extended the same amount on all four corners, and you should be good to go. Now up front, it's pretty easy to jack up. You'll see a center mounting jack point that you can jack up the front and get both front wheels up in the air. In the rear, it's a little bit more tricky. I use the rear differential, and when you jack that up, just make sure your jack isn't touching the actual differential case cover, and you won't have any issues. So jack it up from the base of the differential, and again, that'll jack up the entire rear, and you can get it on jack stands like this. So once you've got enough space under the car, we are ready to get under and do the rest of the service. Now, of course, before you jack up your car, if it does have air suspension, make sure you disable that from inside of the car. The process is super easy. You go into the dash where it has the little indicator for the ride height of the vehicle, and you're going to hold the button either up or down for 7 seconds and then let it go. If you don't release it after 7 seconds, it won't work. It won't automatically turn off after 7 seconds. You have to let go of the button, and you should see the little green line go away, and that way you know that the air suspension is disabled, and that will allow you to jack it up in the air without creating any errors with the ride level system or anything like that. So as you can see, accessing the rear diff is really easy. Once you've got the car up in the air, go ahead and slide your drain pan underneath it to minimize the mess. And then you can see the fill plug is right here, but there is no drain plug. So this is one of the ones where we're going to have to suck out the old fluid from the fill plug hole to get out as much as possible. We're going to use the same wrench that I used for my transfer case and my front diff. I will have it linked down below. It has the right angle to get these plugs in tight spaces, and here it also gives you the leverage you need to get this plug off. Then you go ahead and remove the plug and drop that into your drain pan. Next, we're going to use this BMW tool attached to my fluid extractor. I'll also have both of these linked down below. As you can see, it is a curved tube, so it reaches into the bottom of the diff, and this will allow you to draw off the maximum amount of oil through the fill plug. And then for the fluid extractor, this is the same one that I use for filling all my driveline parts, so it's pretty convenient to have. It works for everything. So use this to suck out all the old fluid and then pump it into your drain pan. I think I was able to get out about 800 milliliters or so of old oil, and you can see how black it is when I get it out. The oil gets dark pretty quickly when it's used, so that's not necessarily a sign that it needed to be changed or it's overdue for a change, but I do feel better putting new fluid in after seeing this old oil come out. Next, it's time to pump in the new fresh oil. I'm using BMW G05 based on the recommendation in the BMW manual. Keep in mind, if you have the limited slip diff, then BMW recommends using G4 instead. So just kind of use the right one for your setup. A lot of people will have different recommendations, but I like sticking with what's recommended because I know it works and I haven't had any issues in my experience. Then we're going to go ahead and pump in the new oil. The stock diff has a 0.9 liter capacity, but each of these bottles is a half liter. So I just put in the full liter to keep it easy. Make sure you keep the drain pan underneath because if any drips out, you want to make sure you have something there to catch it. Depending on how level your car is, some may or may not come out, but with mine, I had no drips or anything. I just put the full 1 liter in and it kept it pretty clean. Then to wrap it all up, we're going to replace the fill plug. Again, these are super cheap and they come with gaskets already pre-installed. So I recommend replacing them every time you remove them. I just bought several from FCP for all of the driveline components. And then the next time I do these services, all of my replacements will be free. This also does have a torque spec, so I'll list that down below for anyone that's interested. But keep in mind, this is also in a great spot where you can easily inspect and monitor it to see if there are any leaks. So I would say go ahead, seal it up, and then just keep an eye on it in the future to make sure it's sealing up properly. And that's how it's done. So again, without a drain plug, I would say it's not quite as easy as the front diff service, but if you have the right tool, it's still really easy to get the old fluid out. There's a bunch of access underneath the car, especially in the rear. So it's just really easy to do. So this is a service that BMW doesn't necessarily recommend doing. They say it's lifetime, but I recommend doing it every 60,000 miles or so. That's when I plan on doing it. And so it'll just help make sure that, especially on these big heavy cars with the, all-wheel drive systems that can be a little bit fragile, it'll make sure everything lasts for a long time. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I will be posting another video showing you guys how to do the transmission service as well. So this will be a full playlist for the whole driveline in case you want to do it on your car. And hopefully you guys can look forward to that. So stay tuned for more. But for now, I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.